Hey y'all, welcome, whether you're catching me live or somewhere down your news feed. This is your girl Jill, super geek to be live with all of you beautiful people. I'll give you guys a moment just to hop on. And also I want to grab, and hey Kimmy, how are you, darling? So glad you're joining us live. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome. So I'm going to give people a few minutes just to kind of get situated and get in the room. I'm going to give people a minute to get situated and get in the room. Also, I want to make sure it's shared on our other platforms. Hey, Dimitri, darling, how are you? Tanja, she's the ride alive. The ride alive chick. We don't do ride or die, like, because we ain't trying to die. Like, we ain't trying to do all that. Oh my God. I just put on my gloss. It's like super glossy. How y'all doing? As you guys are coming in, go ahead and do me a favor. And if you're part of the DMI Kingdom Women Lounge, go ahead and hashtag Kingdom Women. Because I want to see what all Kingdom Women's we got in the building. If you don't know what Kingdom Women is, I'll tell you. Today we're going to be talking about pretty much how to catch your life in terms of your time, because the truth be told, I know you guys got so many things that you want to do, so many, personal goals. Many of you guys are single moms. Some of you guys trying to go back to school. Some of you guys trying to elevate in your job. You're trying to run your ministry. You're trying to run your business, and it's just a lot. Like, it's a lot. And so we want to talk about how do you bring that all in so you don't just be all over the place, so you can be focused, so you can accomplish some of the goals that you really want to accomplish, right? So let me share this, you guys. I don't see it on my page right now. Let me share it on my page and kind of go from there. Let me do that. So you guys, as I'm doing that, think about one or two friends who's really been wanting transformation in their life that you can invite in the room. For people that see me for the first time, this is Jill Bullock with Detour Movement, all about renewing your mind so you can transform your entire life. We are a part of the Catch Your Life crew. My girl Trill Ravenel will be on in a bit. Hey April, how are you? It was so good seeing you when I was in Chucktown, baby, because we get down, baby. Hey, Chucktown, baby, we get down, baby. It was so good seeing you. It was so good seeing you. So you guys, let me know where you're coming in from. Hashtag Kingdom Woman if you are a Kingdom Woman in the building. And as you do that, I'm going to share this. Just give me a moment. And how did you guys enjoy last night? Let me know how you guys enjoyed last night. Share. Hey Faye, hey girl, hey, how are you, darling? I can't figure out, okay, here, this for me. Posting as myself. I just want to post on my page. Why is it? Okay, on your timeline. There we go. Bam, join us now. I'm doing well. I am enjoying seeing you. Too beautiful. Thank you. I am a reflection of you, Queen. I am definitely a reflection of you. Last night call was awesome. Our live was awesome. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Cool. All right, we about to do it again. Let's do it again. So for those who don't know, we've been talking a lot about, as we getting close to the end of the year, we've been having a conversation about how do you crush your goals? Who wants to set goals and not achieve them? But the truth of the matter is that you are 50% more likely to achieve your goal when you write it down. So we believe in not just having a goal plan, not having a New Year's resolution. We don't believe in We don't do that. We believe in having a goal achievement plan to really just get your life so you can achieve all the things that you're destined to achieve. And I know many of you guys follow us because of the relationship stuff with, Trail with the Wife coach, myself being the young singles coach. And so a lot of times you guys are thinking about the abstinence and the purity and all that stuff. And that stuff is good. And thinking about preparing to get found and preparing to be a wife and operating your wife role as a wife. But the truth be told, you cannot master, listen to me good, you can't master your relationship with somebody else until you master the relationship with yourself. So the truth be told, the best thing that you can do for yourself, for your children, for your family, for your current or future spouse is save yourself. Save yourself. And when I say that, that's catch your life. That's like, what do I need to do to elevate myself so I can be, as people say, the best version of myself, that I can be, whatever you want to call it, to elevate you, right? Because you want to be at your peak. You want to be, I won't even say your peak, but you want to be going in the outward mobility, an upward way, and knowing where your destiny is. You have an idea of where you're going. Because I would hate for you guys, let me know if you're single type of one, if you're married type of two. I would hate for you to get with somebody that's where you are now, but you're about to go 10 feet higher. You see what I'm saying? Like if you get with somebody right now and you're in this massive growth phase, you're in this massive transformational phase, you're in this massive development phase, you're going to meet somebody where you are right now. But you don't need to be with somebody based on where you are. You need to connect with somebody based on where you're going. So we want to help you to accelerate your growth process. We want to help you to accelerate your transformational process so you can really stand in that position, stand in that position of boldness, stand in that position of confidence, stand in that position of really just owning your truth. As my girl Mika would say, respecting your truth and everything in it and not having any shame or whatever that may be around those things. So what we want to do is say, how do we take control of our life? By taking control of our time, by taking control of our schedule. Because the truth be told, you're a total sum of all the decisions that you make in your life. You're a total sum of all the decisions you make in your life. And every decision that you make is a destiny decision. So you have to have some discernment about how you're spending that time. So today I want to kind of just break down that word time and tell you what it means and how you can leverage and use that to really get to your next level and get to your goals. I want to hear right now, because this is live and it's live for a reason so we can connect with you. I want to hear right now, you tell me at least one goal that you want to crush in 2018, or perhaps something that you've been wanting to do that you haven't had a chance to do yet, that you're like, this is the time, but you haven't been able to kind of pull it together. Let's just be transparent for a moment. Hey, Connie, how you doing, girl? So good to connect with you back in the Chucktown as well. All my Chucktown people in the building. So glad to see many of you. So I want to share with you guys something, because sometimes we think when we're talking about transformation, when we're talking about life, when we're talking about relationships, sometimes we put a lot of emphasis on the other person and what we got to do and what we got to, for the other person. But I want to spend some time talking about why getting your time management, being consistent is really the best thing that you can do for your life. Hey, Khadijah, how you doing, girlie? Long time no see. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Right, being more consistent and not wasting time. And I also want to let you guys know, I'm going to, if I haven't already, I haven't yet, but I will go back and add. We do have a giveaway that we want to make sure all you guys get, which is a copy of the 10 mistakes that people make that stops them from meeting their goal. So we want to get that information to you, and I'll drop the link. It's on the link from last live, but I'll drop the link tonight for the live. So let me just share with you a little bit about my personal journey, because this whole goal achievement movement was birthed out of two things. One, my true struggle with being a workaholic, with really just trying to do way too much, and learning how to pull back to get control of my life so I didn't break down physically, so I didn't break down mentally and every other way. So I want to share a little bit with you about that. And also, Trell's ability to be balanced. She's kind of had a knack for that for quite a long time. So we put all that together and we want to share it with you. So I can recall when I first started to realize that my time was out of control, like my day was out of control. One day we were actually about to purchase a home. We were looking to purchase a home. So we've been searching online, looking at different places, going from place to place to look at houses. And I was just in my office at work, and I'm like, I'm calm. Nothing's really happening. But inside of me, everything is happening. I'm like, my body is like, something inside of me feel like I'm running 150 miles per hour. But just as calm as I am in front of you right now, I was like that in that moment. But in the inside of me, there was a race, there was a battle, there was an attack, there was something going on, and I had never experienced something like this in my life. I'm like, I don't hear anything. Nobody's, saying anything, nobody's there, but inside of me, boom, 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 boom. I'm like, what is going on? So I did what any natural person would do. I called my sister, who's our in-house physician, Kay Elizabeth. And I'm like, Kay, I'm like calm as all get out. But inside of me feel like boom, 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 boom. I'm like, what the heck is that? I mean, my heart feels normal, but something inside of me is racing, and I cannot really, actually my heart rate was racing. My heartbeat was racing. Everything was racing. And so I asked her what this was about. And Kay was like, you're having an anxiety attack. I said, what? She said, you're having an anxiety attack. And I never knew what that was. But then as I started to look into that, what was happening was I had so many demands in my life. I had to award all these contracts. I had to do things with the nonprofit. I had to do things with my coaching business. I had to do things as a wife. I just had so many things on my plate. So imagine your plate right now. You got all these different things and all these responsibilities you have, and it was wearing me down. It was totally wearing me down. And my body was responding in a way of my body was racing. My heart was racing. My body was racing. Every part of me was racing in the inside, trying to keep up with all the mental things that was in my mind that I had committed to, that I said yes to, that, I'm saying, oh yes, I will award this contract. Yes, I can take on another task. Yes, I can do this. Yes, I can do that. Yeah, I will do the workbook. I'll do this. I'll do that, do that. So I've been saying yes, 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 yes. And so my body is trying to keep pace with all the commitments that I had made. And that manifested in the form of an anxiety attack. Sometimes for you, it might not, if you've ever experienced anything like this, you might have experienced just being frustrated, wanting to cuss somebody out. And you probably did cuss somebody out, right? You might have experienced just feeling overwhelmed, feeling like you just want to scream, feeling like, oh my God. Like if somebody else called my name, if the kids keep screaming one more time, and maybe you got into the place that you're blocking them out, that you can't even hear them. Like they're screaming on top of their temple and you don't I can't even hear that. Because you had to kind of mentally remove yourself from the situation because it becomes stressful and it's not healthy. I always joking. Listen, y'all, I always joke and say, I don't know who was the lead ladies. I guess I could look it up on Google. I'm sure they would tell me who negotiated the women's suffrage movement. But we got left with the short end of the stick. Understand that we got left with the short end of the stick. Why do I say this? Because in the women's suffrage movement, they want us to say, oh, we need to go back into work. We need to have equal rights as men. But who gonna carry those babies though? Like, who gonna be cooking in the kitchen though? Who gonna be cleaning out the tub though? Like, I don't know what they was thinking. Hey, Londa. I don't know what they was thinking, but they said that we was going to go back in the workplace, but who was going to take care of the house? So we end up going into the workplace. So now we're working 40, 50, 60 hours a week, and we're coming home and we got to take care of home. We got to cook. We got to clean. We got to take care of the kids. We got to carry the kids for 9 months, like physically labor. I'm talking about, bringing forth going through being a mother and carrying that child, and then you have to nurse the child and feed, and then change the child and all those things. So as a woman, we are inundated with so much that we have to carry. Like, how do we balance that? Like, one of my business coaches always saying, like, as a woman, you're so amazing. You do so much. You've accomplished so much. You carry so much. Like, we really make the world go round. And I'm not trying to put anything down with men. They got their place. They got their spot. But we have so much. We're like the number one. We're one of the highest income earners, and we're spending a lot of money. So we have a lot of impact in this world, in this nation. And how do we manage all of that that's coming our way, all of that space that we have to occupy without having an anxiety attack, a nervous breakdown, having, just feeling overwhelmed and not feeling like you have to do all these things to try to serve other people. And let me just speak to the woman right now for a moment who may be that mom who maybe had a child before you got out of high school, or maybe had a child, your early years in college, and maybe they didn't finish school and you want to go back to get that degree. You're like, I need to up my skills because I want to get a better job. Like, when do you have time for you? I'm kind of getting all into points. Let me just go to the first point. So my first point, I didn't land a story. Hold on. So going back to my story, I ended up having that anxiety attack. And then I started to look at my time, my schedule, and I really just started to pick out, you guys, this is a really important nugget that I'm going to drop right here, right now. I started to look at all the things that I was responsible for. Catch this. And I wrote out all the things I was responsible for. And then I picked the top 3 things. that I had to accomplish, that I had to do personally. And then I did these 3 things. I started to delay, deny, and delegate other tasks to help me to stay on point, because I was just too much. If you got all this stuff on your plate, either you have to take some off for another time, just do away with some things altogether, or give it to somebody else to do. And then when I started to do that, along with really this creating a written plan, it helped me to manage my time so much better. So from having the anxiety attacks, I didn't tell you about the chronic back pain that it felt like it was chronic back pain that I was having. I was able to bring everything in line by doing these things that I'm sharing with you. And we're going to break down the word time, T-I-M-E. So first, for time, the important thing for you to know is that stands for task. It stands for task. Hey, Tavia, how are you? It is okay to say no, and you need to say no so you do not get overly engulfed in committing to more things than you're able to commit to. So get overly committed. So thank you for pointing that out. That is so important. So when we talk about T, we're going to talk about T is for task. The T in time stands for task. T-I-M-E. I'm going over task right now. Hey, Trell, welcome to the broadcast.
Hey. I finally made it.
Yeah, I just was chopping it up a little bit. Just now going into T for task. T's for task.
Okay.
And when you look at, I actually wrote down a little definition for task because I want to kind of unearth that a little bit. What is a task? It's a piece of work to be done. It's an undertaking. Other words for task is job, duty, chore, assignment, detail, mission, engagement. So many things. Responsibility, burden, endeavor. It's a piece of something that you have to do. So when we look at the time, our time, go back to, I just told you, what's the 3 top tasks that you need to accomplish, that you yourself, because some things you're doing, your children could be doing. Some things you're doing, your mama's supposed to be doing. Some things you're doing, your husband's supposed to be doing for those that's married. There's some things you're doing as a leader that there's other people in your organization that can be doing. Heck, some of you guys just in your job, there's things that you should be doing that other colleagues are supposed to be doing, that your supervisor should be doing. And it's a certain way, of course, we have to address that because I don't want nobody to be insubordinate talking about, Jill said I need to redelegate this back to you. That's what I'm not saying. But what I am saying is when you start looking at your job, if we can start there, What are those 3 critical things that you need to do on your job? Those 3 critical tasks. When you look at your role as a mother, what are those 3 critical tasks that you need to do? And when you start looking at it like that, it helps you to remove that feeling of overwhelm. It helps you to remove that feeling of frustration. Helps you to prevent having an anxiety attack, as I shared that I had, because now you're more in control and you're more focused. Somebody type focus on the screen for me. You have to be more focused, which really leads us into the next thing, which is getting into intention. How can you be intentional about the task that you have to undertake as you move forward? So the big takeaway, short and sweet, for tasks is what's those top 3 tasks you have to accomplish. And I would like to see some of you guys go ahead and start typing it. And you might have to think about it. If you know 1 or 2, draw 1 or 2, but I had to do that, and I actually have it written down. Actually, I'm not even playing. Let me show y'all. I actually created, I'm going to share with y'all something real quick. I had this tape up here. I actually created a list. I'm going to share this with you guys of my priorities. This is my priorities, and I wrote down things that I must do, things that I can do, things that I shouldn't do, and then things that I should never do. So that all helped me to break out the various responsibilities. I'm getting a little bit of feedback. The various responsibilities that I had. And one of my number 1 things that I had to do is delegate. Another thing I have to do is create content so I can communicate with all. And a couple other things. So I'll get to my 3rd one since I talked about 3. The 3rd thing I have to do is make sure that I put myself out there to connect with the right people, make the right relationships. So those are the 3 top things when it comes to the business aspect that I must do. I must delegate. I must write content. And I must make the right relationships. Hold on, it sounds like a little bit of feedback. Charlie, do you have another device up?
Do I have what?
Another device up.
Nope.
Okay, so that's what I want to say about tasks. I don't know how you can see the comments trail. Can you see comments? I can't.
The volume changed. Yeah, Jill's volume changed. I noticed that.
Oh, it did?
Something with your volume.
I don't know. All right.
So let's go ahead and talk about intentional while Jill tries to do that. I'll go ahead and talk about intentional. Hey, Ashley. Hey, everybody. Thank you for chiming on tonight. So even what Jill was talking about, I did hear some of what you were saying, Jill, because I was able to get on with Detour Movement. It kept letting me log on as Detour Movement, and then I finally had to go out and come back in. So even being intentional about whatever task that is for you, and also just setting the intentions for your day. When I think about intentional, I think about setting the order of your day. How are you setting the order of your day? That means set intention. This is what I am intentional about doing today. So if that's health, so even on the flip side of that, if you're intentional about your health, if you're intentional about what you're eating, if you're intentional about, I need to exercise today, right? So whatever that intention is, if it is a business, I'm intentional about working an hour on my business. You have to set the intention. And when I think about intentional, I also think about what is your priority? What is priority in your life, and how are you going to intentionally work toward that thing to make sure that you are achieving your overall goal? Because through all of this, time management that we talked about on tonight, having an effective prayer life that we talked about on last night, these are goals that you want. Am I right or am I right? You want to have an effective prayer life, or else you would not have been on the call last night and tonight. You want to use your time more wisely and more effectively, or else you would not be on the call on tonight. So these are goals that you should set in your goal book or your planner to make sure that you are meeting these things on a day-to-day basis. And when you set the intention, you know that anytime a distraction comes your way, anytime something comes your way to deviate you from meeting your goal or the expectation, that you need to get back on track and set the intention. You have to be also intentional about removing yourself from certain people that is not fueling you or feeding you on your journey. And I know that's a big one. We hate to release certain people out of our lives, but sometimes people have to be removed out of your life. Or, even if it's somebody that's there for a lifetime per se, or their lifetime friend or what have you, they may not be the right person in that season. you know? So you may have to disconnect and reconnect with somebody else that's going to help you in the season that you're in. So every decision that you're making on your journey, be it in your marriage, be it in your relationships, in your business, in your career goals, or whatever those things are, you have to set the intention, set the order, and making sure that you are prioritizing. Only you know what that looks like for you. When we talk about prayer, set the intention, making sure that you're setting the intention. I am going to get up and pray tomorrow. No, I may not feel like it. No, I may go to bed a little late on tonight, but I'm going to get up and pray about healing. I'm going to get up and pray about finances. I'm going to get up and pray for my children because it's a need. Right? So look at the thing that has the most need in your life and that needs the most attention, and you set the intention of making sure you accomplish that very thing. And when you start doing that, you won't be all over the place, you know, because everything can look important. Right? We make everything look important at any given time. And we like to use these terms, multitasking. But I disbelieve that, because if you're multitasking, you are focusing really on one thing. Yeah, we're multifunctional people. Absolutely, we are. Hence why we'll have 5 different things going on at one time and really not accomplishing anything, but just contributing small or minimal to certain areas in our life. So we want to be multifunctional to some point, but we also want to make sure that we are intentional about contributing to our overall goal. What is your overall goal? Right? What is your overall goal that you want to meet in 90 days, that you want to meet in 6 months? And ask yourself before you write out your calendar or write out your task for day to day, ask yourself, is this going to help me get closer or further away from meeting my goal? Right? Is this going to help me get closer or move me even more apart or farther away from me meeting my goal? Because like I said, everything is not a priority and everything is not important. But as women, somehow, some way, we make everything a level 10. And then you have people that may be in your life because they have level 10 needs. They want your needs to be a level 10 as well. And you also have to be intentional about telling people no, right? You have to be intentional about telling people, this is my space, this is my lane, this is what I want to stay in. If you're over here doing that, then that's fine. Let me stay over here doing this, because this is what I know, this is what I like, this is what I can do, this is what I can execute. And sometimes we don't do that. Jill was talking about what was the movement? Suppress. What movement you were talking about earlier? The movement you were sharing earlier when I was on with Detour Movement.
The movement,
the movement, but you said a name. I thought you said a name about the movement where women had to go out and cook and clean and do all of the work.
I got you. The feminist movement.
Was it the feminist movement? I thought you had said something else. Okay, I thought you said something else. Okay, so we've gotten to this suffrage. That's what I was thinking about. Yes, suffrage. Right. So we think that we think sometimes we're superwoman. I know some people like to be called, I'm a superwoman. Honestly, you all, I don't want to be a superwoman. I really don't. I don't want to be the person that does everything, can do everything, and will do everything. I really don't want to be that person, because this is what I look at with that. I look at that. You still have a lot of room to grow. When you can do anything, will do anything, and doing everything, that means that something is missing. That means that there's a shortage in the area where you are supposed to be the expert in. If you are a business person, there's a shortage in the area where you are supposed to be an effective mother or an effective wife or whatever the case may be. So you don't want to just be perfect and complete and whole in everything, because there's never any room for improvement, and you're not really catering to your overall goals as far as your life is concerned. So setting the intentions means setting the order and setting priority.
That's good. And you know, when you brought back our women's suffrage movement, and really they thought at that time they were getting our rights and doing something good. And I'm not knocking it, but it now really, even though the word is not suffering, is kind of like as if they thought they were suffering then. But when you start to look at it with all the things we're now doing, we pretty much have 2 to 3 times our role. That's what we've done. That's why I said we want to slap everybody, right? Because we've now taken on so much. And that's why last year we did the Goal Achievers Workshop. It was so successful. We decided to now roll out a whole program around that to help you not only get your life one time, because I mean, oh my God, so many great people, and I'm sure maybe we'll have them share about it later. You know, I'm not going to get into it now. Talked about the success they had, because we created a program, like Charles saying, that did everything from helping you get those tasks in line, help you to be very intentional, and help you to do what I'm going to talk about. The third thing right now is the M in time is going to be me time. How many of you guys can use some more me time?
Yes.
And you know what? It's not always
That's important.
just incorporate additional time for yourself. And let's just be frank, as a mom, sometimes you may feel guilty getting away from your children, you know, feeling like, man, I should be with my child right now. And forgetting that, again, the best thing you can do for your children is to make sure you invest in yourself and invest in your personal goals, because really what legacy and what you do in your life is going to help to bring your kids along. I always like to use Bishop T.D. Jakes and Sarah Jakes as an example, and how he talked about one time, because of the things that he was able to accomplish, and because of the things that and this was even before Sarah is the Sarah you know today. This was like 7 years ago. Bishop T.D. Jakes was talking about this, saying because of the seeds that he sows today, because of what he decided to do with his life today, and how he was able to achieve his goals, he's allowing his kids not to start on the first floor, and how his kids are going to be able to start on a higher level. And that's the same things you want to do with your children, because now you're investing in yourself. You're investing in me time. That could be just your mental health, taking a mental break to meditate. That could be, getting yourself pampered and all of that. That could be going back to school and get your education. That could be going and get a higher certification. And granted, anybody can go online and Google and apply for a school. That's not the problem. You can do that. And some schools got free application, $25 application. The thing is, how do you stay the course on that journey? Right. And have that accountability. And that's what the whole program is about. Again, we'll talk about it more later, but I just wanted to share a little bit about that. And saying, when you're talking about me time, you have to plan that in your schedule. You have to plan that in your day and take time. And we found a way to make it in a systematic way, so you're not always frantic. I mean, maybe I'm the only one, but I know I used to live a frantic life. And when I was able to free myself of that, I sit back sometimes and I'd be laughing. I'm like, what was I doing? Like, what was I doing? You know what I'm saying?
Why?
I was busy all the time. Like, for real. And then when I was able to release myself and now have time to meditate, and even, come on now, how many of you guys know self-care is also for the soul? Self-care is also for the spirit. So that self-care is having that time to pray with God and spend with God. Self-care is, taking time to get your hair done, taking time to get that massage, taking time to get acupuncture, taking time to go to that physical therapy appointment, taking time to go to that dentist appointment. Ain't nobody playing. Like, it's time for us to really it's time for you to make you a priority and stop making everything else a priority. I'm just saying. If this is blessing somebody, I want to go ahead and encourage you guys to share. I want to encourage you guys to share. Many of you guys shared last night. Kudos to you. Pause. Kudos to you guys. We have over 1,000 shares on the last video. So we guys thank everybody who's watching the videos and who's sharing. We really, really, really appreciate so many of you guys for doing it. I want to do that now as well. So I still have more to say about that, but I'm going to pause. I see April's posting a comment. And since we're live, we want to be engaging tonight with you all. I'm trying to pull up my Fitbit and my battery's dead.
Scheduling pampering me time regularly is sometimes a challenge for me, but in retrospect to that, listening to your lives is a part of my me time. I put it on my calendar. It has helped me grow tremendously. Yeah, absolutely. It can be. Absolutely, April. You want to also make sure you're doing something tangible as far as pampering yourself, getting out. It doesn't have to be a lot of money. And that's what people think, like you have to go out and get $100 massage and a $50 manicure. No, you can just go out and walk downtown. What I used to do a lot is go walk downtown King Street. Beautiful. We have a beautiful city that we live in. Go to the park out there, the Bertlebank Park or the Riverfront Park. There are things that we can do, and you don't have to spend any money at all. You can have $5 and just get an ice cream. Second Sundays on King, prime place. And you don't have to be around people. That's your time. So whatever you decide to do at that time outside of the house, sometimes, do that. Go get a matinee, April. That's one of the things that I do to relax. I go see a matinee in the middle of the day.
That's good. And what I wanted to say, really, outside of working on the self-care for your soul and your spirit, the best self-care you can give yourself is education and community. Mm-hmm. Because in the education, come on now, that's our founding scripture. I would love for somebody to tell me what's the founding scripture for Detour movement. I want to know. And it's all about here, because when you take that time, once you get your soul right, if you get your mind right, somebody tell me, I'm gonna love somebody to type that on the screen for me today. Type it on the screen for me today. What is Detour Movement? Finding scripture. Because that's the thing in terms of education that's going to help you to get to your next level. And outside of that, I would say is the community that you build yourself around. So we talking about self-care. Don't put it in a box, like Charles said. Don't put it in a box. This is about your soul. This is about your spirit. This is about your education. This is about your mind. Like renewing your mind so your mind is not the same, so you can think on a higher level. That's what growth is. Growth and development is you thinking and really understanding how life works, how this world works, what it really takes to be successful. Anybody in this place want to be successful? Who don't want to be successful? And really taking that time out to invest in you, because you are your greatest asset. Just in case you didn't know. I just had to come by and tell you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Personal development. Absolutely. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. That is very important. And the last letter in time is enjoy. No pressure. Sometimes we just get so caught up with being busy in life, and everything is a top one priority, and everything is so serious, and if we don't do this, it's not going to get done. And sometimes just enjoy. And you get one life. I know a lot of people say YOLO, you only live once. And you definitely want to make sure that you are living your life to the fullest. You don't want to be all work all the time. And you don't want to be all play all the time. You need some type of balance. You want to give time to work, but you also want to give time to play, time to enjoy, time to go on that vacation that you enjoy. Be it a cruise, be it a staycation. Like I said, those are in Charleston and surrounding areas. This is a beautiful city. There are several places that you can go just here, just taking time out for yourself and enjoying, going and get yourself some caramelized popcorn or a cookies and cream milkshake from, Chick-fil-A. Even if you are on that stringent diet and you're so concerned about your health, still enjoy life. You don't want to get so stuck in trying to be perfect and trying to always meet these deadlines and trying to always meet these goals, and you hold yourself at you don't give yourself any type of breathing room, because that's a very stuck up person. Like, you don't want to be around somebody that's just so serious and can't laugh, can't enjoy, can't let their hair down or their weave down or whatever the case may be. You want to make sure that you're taking that time to enjoy, okay, enjoy your family, right? Enjoy your friends. A lot of us say that we have friends and we have close friends, but yet we never take time to enjoy them. How is that your close friend? How is that somebody that you really care about when you don't take time to enjoy them? I have a girlfriend right now, and she works all the time. She misses very important events. She misses events. She misses important dates. She misses time with herself, me time, and everything else, because she's so stuck on working. We want to make sure that we're not always working, but we're giving enough attention to ourselves and just enjoying life overall. So it's not a major thing, right? But it is a major thing, because we want to make sure we're taking that time to do that.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Hey, Sharonda.
That is all 4 things. I'm just going to recap really quick. Is one, we talked about tasks and the importance of knowing what those most important tasks that you're supposed to have and having a systematic way to do that. And then we talked about the I in time, talking about being intentional, planning out your schedule, planning out your day. Like, what are you going to do? How are you going to do that? We also talked about the M, which talks about me time. And it talked about, it's important to have even education in your me time, right? And spiritual time with God, and all of that is part of your me time. And Cheryl talked about just going out to just hear yourself think. Come on, I should have said that too. Like, we just sometimes need to get away in a place to think. And that ability to have some quiet time to think is like really important to one, for your creativity, for you to be innovative. And one of the things that some of the most successful people do to help them be successful, because the truth of the matter is, why I was having an anxiety attack, for those that was on when I talked about that, my mind was at capacity and my body was trying to keep up. So that's why that happened, because I wasn't taking any time to pause and be still. I mean, you guys know you just need to sometimes be still and know that God is still God, and that I don't care how much you work, I don't care how much you do, you're not going to be able to do what he can do on your behalf. Like, you can work all day, all night, but it's not going to be nowhere near what the power of God can do in and through your life. And once you start to do that, renew your mind about that, then you'll realize that all that doing is unnecessary. It's so unnecessary. So tag, share, and invite your friends.
And I want to say this, and and I want to say this too. We can get so caught up in the hustle and bustle. Those of us that are in the business world and things of that nature, everybody want to make 6 figures, 7 figures, 8 figures, 10,000 figures, right? So you can get so caught up in that, and all you do is work. And like Joe said, your mind will be going at 1,000 miles per minute, and you forget to live. And now you've done all this, and then what? So you want to be mindful of getting so caught up with everybody else is doing, because at the end of the day, if you didn't work that 16 hours a day, God is still going to reward you. And I think sometimes we feel like the more we work, the more God is going to reward us, or the more he's going to increase. But honestly, the opposite is true, because we cannot please him by our works. We please him by our faith. We are expected to work, don't get me wrong, but we please him by our faith. And sometimes when we do so much work, sometimes that can look to God as if we don't trust him, because we're really trying to do it and make it happen on our own, versus allowing him doing what we can do, and then allowing him to come in and shift or connect you to the right person, or shift you over here, or so we really have to be mindful with that, because that can be looked at too, that we don't really trust God, but because we're trying so hard to get it done. And anytime that trying so hard takes you away from family, it takes you away from friends, it takes you away from ministry, it takes you away from being a part of your local ministry, if you're a part of a local ministry in any capacity, anytime that takes you away from those things at a great large level, then you need to really look at that. You need to look at your doing and your tasking, just to make sure that you're not all key with God and really in alignment with him, because he said he will give you houses that you did not build. He will give you land that you did not toil over. So what that tells me is, okay, God, yes, I'm going to do the work, but I know because of the favor that's on my life, and because you don't want me to work to death, right? You're going to make sure that I have everything that you promised me for my life. You're going to make sure that my marriage is blessed, that my finances are blessed, my business is blessed, my ministry is blessed. As a matter of fact, you're going to bring people in my circle to make it easier for me, right? You're going to bring those people so I can delegate certain tasks to and certain things to, so that I can go and enjoy, so that I can have me time, and it won't be so as if all I'm doing is on the money train per se, right? And the hustle and bustle of life. So we really gotta take a step back and make sure.
Right. That's so good. So good and so important. Everything you just said. Just remembering that without faith, it's impossible to please God too. Right. And so, can you hear me? Okay. So important. I always like to talk about my girls, Mary and Martha, and how Mary was the type of chick that wanted to sit at the feet of Jesus and listen to him teach, because she was like, I know this education is good for me. This spiritual wisdom is good for me. This is good for my soul. This is good for my spirit. There's nothing greater that I can be doing. And Martha was running around like a chicken with her head cut off. Like, girl, we got to make up this bed. We got to clean the kitchen. We got to cook this food. We got to run down here and tell whoever, whatever, and doing all this stuff. And Martha was so annoyed. She was like, Jesus, because he was at their house, and she was like, Jesus, like literally. She was like, this ain't right. Like, you see, Mary just want to sit at your feet and listen to you all day. Like, ain't nothing to do. She knew you was coming over. She didn't even help me clean up. I had to clean up the living room by myself. I had to mop the floor. I had to vacuum. And she just sitting there worshiping like she ain't got nothing to do. She's like, that's not cool. And Jesus was like, I ain't gonna tell her nothing about what she's doing. Actually, you need to peep her. You need to take heed. You need to observe. You need to watch. And you need to join what she's doing, because what she's doing is right before the Lord. So just, balance that Martha spirit. And in order to balance that Martha spirit, I can tell you this until I'm in a place, and I always knew this, but until I got the tools in place, I wasn't able to do that. And what I found out is just having the workbook is great. It's a tool, you need it, but also just having the continuous accountability and process and system to help you do that. So we're going to continue the conversation on that. I want to encourage you guys to tag, share, and invite. I want to encourage and then challenge everybody that's under the sound of my voice to invite
at least 3 friends that you know want transformation. 3 friends who saying, I don't want my next year to look like this year. I need to make a change. I need to make a shift. I'm ready to grow. I'm not trying to stay stuck. They need to, want to invest in themselves in a deeper way. Invite them to this broadcast. And I want to encourage you, after you do that, I'm going to drop the link here today for you guys to get your free gift, the 10 biggest mistakes people make when they're setting and achieving their goals. And we'll send it right to your Facebook Messenger that you can grab that gift, and we'll kind of go from there. Trell, any last things you want to say before we jump off?
No, I mean, I believe it was a great conversation, and I pray that you guys just, I always say no and then I say something, so I guess I do. Just take away the nuggets that we shared on tonight, apply them to your life. Like Joe said, if you're really serious about going to the next level in life as a whole, you want to take heed to the information that we're sharing. We're not on here for our health. We're not on here because we love you, because we do, but that's not the only reason. But we're on here because we want to get something to you. We're sharing with you the systems and the strategies and the things that have worked for our lives so that it can make your life easier, right? So take these things, apply them to your life, and at any time you feel like you're running against a brick wall, Jill and I have a consultation, free consultation that you can take advantage of, and in hoping that you'll be connected to the community even the more. So that's just not to get on the phone with us and have a conversation. We hope that you will take advantage of further tools and resources that we have, because we have lots of tools and resources available to you, but you have to invest in yourself, right? So intention also is about investing in yourself. So you want to make sure that you're doing that as well, and not just looking for dessert all the time. You want the whole course, right? You want the whole course. You don't just want the small bites all the time.
That is so good, Trell. And that just reminds me that really the transformation happens when you invest in that time and the resources and whatever you need. Because we wasn't even planning on being here for 50 minutes tonight, and we're going to be on again tomorrow, hopefully closer to the 30 minutes, and you'll be seeing us put some stuff out, and we're going to give you as much as we can. But the truth be told, we can only give you so much in a week or a conversation. But if you walk with us for a month or a year, that's really when you see the transformation. And people that we notice that have the greatest transformation in our community are the people that are around us the most, that's in our community, that have invested in different things to make them better. You're not investing in Trell and I. It's a nonprofit organization. You're investing in you and your family and your future, so you can be right to the world who's paving the way for your children, so they don't have to start on the bottom floor, but they can start on the 5th floor. It's time out for us as a culture, as a community, as a people, to be starting out on the 1st floor. But anyway, Trell, unless you got something else, we're going to sign off. Any last words, Trell?
I did want to say something else, but I totally forgot. Oh my God, when you were talking about that. I think you were saying walking with us for a year or so. Because listen, you guys, this is what I want to say we can get off. A year is going to pass by, whether you like it or not. And many of you have been following us from the inception. Some of you have been following us for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. And ask yourself, have you ever invested in anything with us? And then ask yourself, has my life changed as a result? Then ask yourself, have I just looked at live videos or been on a conference call? My life shifted a little bit, but not really. So that's your measure. In the Connies of the world, the Aprils of the world, the Meekers, all of these women, Tanja, the testimonials to share with you that I not only followed Jill and Trell, Detour Movement, Wives Who Win, or whatever capacity you followed us, but I invested. And as a result of me investing, my life has changed and is unrecognizable at this moment. And I know that for Tanja for sure, and so many others, and I'm only using Tanja as an example because we just met Tanja in October. And from October to December, listen, y'all, not even 90 days, her life is already unrecognizable. You hear what I'm saying? So again, this is not for us. but this is for you. It's where you want to be. Because Jill and I are excelling. We're going to the next level. Not to say that to be boisterous or anything of that nature, but just to go to show you our level of intentions. So we want to walk with you, and we want to be able to take you and walk with you hand in hand on this journey. But we are limited as to how much we can do for you, if that makes sense.
Especially on
So that's what I
live.
wanted to share.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
That was good, Trell. That's good. So
All
anyway, you guys stay tuned.
Yeah.
I want to make sure you get access to all 3 videos, and we're maybe doing a special presentation. Me and Trell is going to be in conversation about that. We're going to see if we can do a special presentation and really share with you as much as we can. And starting January 6th, we're going to have a lot of big things kicking off with the membership program. Stay tuned with more about that. But until next time, I still got a couple things I need to do so I can hit the sack and get my life. So I love you guys. Until next time, be blessed.
Be blessed. Love you all. Bye-bye. How do we join the membership? Tanja, we'll get with you on that.
We're going to stay tuned. We're going to keep your eyes and your ears open. We're going to be sharing some more information. Great question. And we're glad you asked. We're going to find some more information about how you join the membership. Love you, Tanja. Love all you ladies. Have a good night. Be blessed.